Okay. So again, happy Monday. This is Mind Your Mind Monday with Dr. K. Do me a big favor. Do me a big favor on this Monday morning. Tag, like, and share. Tag, like, and share. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's get started. Mind Your Mind Mondays with Dr. K. I am Dr. K. I'm your girl, Dr. K. And today is Mind Your Mind Mondays. I do Mind Your Mind Mondays every Monday. This is our top of the week nugget, if you will, to get your week started, to give you some mental health ways to keep yourself mentally fit throughout the week. And so today we are going to talk about how to accept what you cannot change. Accept what you cannot change. Hey, Curtis. Hey, babe. How are you? Accept what you cannot change. Okay? So do me a favor. Tag, like, and share. Accept what you cannot change. As I said, basic but needed. Basic but needed. Right? Basic but needed. Sometimes we just need the friendly reminder. Accept what we cannot change. Now, I don't know about you, but I started out in my career some 30 years ago, okay? Give or take a few. And I started out as a drug and alcohol therapist, all right? And in that, one of the things that we used to help my consumers or clients, however you want to classify them, we would start out our groups by having them say what we call the serenity prayer, right? And the serenity prayer went a little something like this. It was, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'm going to say that again. God, grant me the I just said it. God, grant me the serenity, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to know the difference, and I'm on some side. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. I don't know who the author is, but it is not me. All right. So, that was the prayer that we would have them start the group out with every time we met, right? And why did we have them to start that group? Because if you know anything about addiction many times is formed as a way of covering up pain. It's a way that they are covering up those things that they didn't know how to properly process. Some type of trauma, some type of internal pain. And so they turn to substance. They turn to a way to medicate the pain, right? And so as a result of that, a part of getting clean, a part of the mental process, a part of processing the trauma is being able to accept those things you cannot change, right? What are some of those things we can't change? Well, we can't change, first of all, we can't change ourselves. Let's start with that. As we are going through processes, we realize that we can't forget about other people. Let's not even talk about that right now. We'll get to that in a minute. But we can't even change ourselves without, one, the help of Jesus Christ, right? Without, two, the Bible says there's safety. Good morning, Audacious. Is safety in a multitude of counsel. So the reality of it is we can't even change ourselves without some assistance, right? So one of the things we have to realize is that we can't even change ourselves. So we have to accept that there's some parts of us that without help, okay, we have to realize that we're going to need some help, whether that is help in the word, help from a medical professional. We need some help, right? And so here are some things I ask people all the time. When people come to me for therapy, I say, let first of all, When they start saying, well, I just don't like, I just don't like, I just don't like, I said, okay, let's make a couple lists. Let's start with 2 lists. The first list we're gonna start with is, let's look at all the things about you that you cannot change. That you just cannot change. Okay? The first thing is, so we're not gonna put hair on that list, because everybody can change their hair, right? You can change your hair. All right, so we're not gonna put that on that list. But what can you not change? We can't change your skin color. Now we can change it. I'm not talking about if we bleach it, if we do all those things. I'm talking about, let's clarify. Let's say race. We can't change your race. Okay, we can't change those things. We can't change who your birth parents are. We can't change that. So I tell them, we start with the list of things you can't change. So we cannot change those things. We cannot change who birthed you. We're not talking about who you ended up being raised with. We're talking about who birthed you. We can't change that. We cannot change the people who created you. We can't change that, right? So we can't change those things, right? So we look at all of the things that we can't change. And those are the things that we have to accept about ourselves, right? Then we look at, what is it that we can't change about other people? And so that list can go on and on and on, right? We can't change what other people say about us. We can't change that people going to lie on us. We can't change that people don't like us. We can't change those things. Because here's the thing. I get a lot of people that struggle with people pleasing. And so one of the things I tell them to look at is, what can't you change? You cannot change other people's perception. You cannot change how people, you can do everything right and people still find something to lie about, or people still find something to talk about. They talked about Jesus, so you're not exempt. Okay? So that we come up with all those lists and we look at those lists. And so I take them through a process and I say, now those things that we can't change are the things that we're asking God to help us to accept. But we can't change them. We can't change them. He can. Okay? But we can't. Right? So we're asking God to help us to accept those things that we can't. Then we look at our list of things that we can change. Okay? But today we're not talking about those things. Because the title of our live today is Accepting the Things We Cannot Change. Okay? And I want to help you today. Part of our mental stressors, part of our depression, a lot of our anxiety is that we spend a lot of time, and I'm guilty, we spend a lot of time worrying and processing and analyzing and dissecting those things that we cannot change. We cannot change what people say about us. In front of our faces, behind our backs, around the corner. We can't change that. We cannot change the person driving in front of us. We can't change how they drive. We cannot change if they're sitting at the light too long. We just can't change that. Yeah, we can maybe toot our horn, give a courtesy tap, okay? But we still can't change how that goes. We can't change if we go around somebody and they get mad and respond in an inappropriate manner. We cannot change that. We cannot change the weather. We don't have the ability to change that. As much as I don't like cold weather, as much as I can't stand the rain, I don't have the ability to change. Listen, y'all better be glad I can't change it. Because if it was up to me, we would be in the desert. And I'm going to tell you why we would be in the desert. Because I don't like rain. So if I controlled the weather, we would never have rain. So y'all better be glad I don't control the weather. right? So we cannot control the weather. We just can't. So accepting those things that we cannot change. We couldn't control the pandemic. And so a lot of us spent a lot of time grumbling and complaining and fighting the process, but we couldn't control it. It didn't matter what we said. It was still here, and we still had to go through the process. And it's still here. What am I saying? I'm saying that if we want to live as stress-free as possible, if we want to have our minds not as amped up as many of us spend our time, we have to begin accepting or learn to accept those things we cannot change. Many of us we struggle with people pleasing, and we're constantly in this rabbit hole trying to please others. But I'm here to let you know from learned experience, from lived experience, stop trying to do it. Hey, Pearl, stop. Because you cannot control how people feel about you, how they think about you. Listen, if they have set their internal meter, if their meter is set on misunderstanding you, if their meter is set on disliking you, if their meter is set on hating you, that's what it's going to be on, no matter what you do. If their meter is set on, all it's doing is gratifying their pride and gratifying their need to have something in them fulfilled. You know why? Because they don't like you anymore. They don't love you anymore. They're just running you like a Hebrew slave and getting their stuff met and getting their need met. But it's not like you are going to get anything out of that. You're not going to get what you felt you were going to get. It's not going to happen. I promise you it's not going to happen. So I often tell my clients, and sometimes I got to say to myself, fire the person that you're trying to please. Fire them. Give them a pink slip. And if you got to give them a literal pink slip, do it. Because you cannot change that. You can't. Nothing you do is going to satisfy what's in them. But you can change what's in you. Now you say, Dr. Kia, how can I change that? Well, you can change it by doing your work. You can change it by realizing, hey, I'm a whole person and I need to do what I got to do to work towards my goal of wellness. I have to do what I need to do to achieve my goals of success. I have to do what I need to do to make sure I'm secure and my family is secure. So yeah, I can't continue in this rabbit hole of chasing after a dream that I'm never going to achieve, because guess what? I can't change what other people think and feel about me, or what I'm doing, or how they think I should be acting, or what they think I should be doing. No, that's their stuff. So you got to accept what you cannot change. I'm going to give you some homework. Those of you that are tuned in today, make your list. What are those things you can change, and what are those things you can't change? Sometimes it's going to make you buckle at the knee, because some people that you love very dearly, some people that you extremely respect, some people that you hold in high esteem, you're going to find, God, okay, I may not have to necessarily disconnect, but some people you will have to disconnect from. But God, I got to get out this rabbit hole, because I can't change their perspective. I can't change how they feel. But what I can change is what I do, how I respond, how I react. I can change that. We cannot continue moving forward, right? In the eyes of what other people, hey Tanya, in the eyes of what other people think we should do. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be a little transparent. It took me 50 years to learn that. 50 years to free myself. And guess what? Even now, because it took me 50 years, sometimes I still fall back into it because it's a practice that I gotta constantly practice. And I gotta and here's the thing. Let me just say this to you. A lot of times we think that once God heals us from something or once God delivers us from something, it's a one and done movement. No, it's not. That's why we use the terms healing, delivering. Sanctification is a process. Now, this is not what this live is about. I'm just letting you know. I walk in my healing daily. I have to die to my flesh daily. Okay? And I will tell people, like, don't push the buttons because some days I have to remind myself, kid, you are on a journey. And I have to self-talk. Yeah, because there are some things that with the wrong button pushed, I can slide back into. Now, and not all behavior is bad. Understand this. It's not all bad behavior that's directed to somebody else, but it could be self-destructive to my own process. And I got to remind myself of that, okay? And so people pleasing is one of those things. Freeing myself from what other people thought or what other people felt or spreading myself so thin to get people to like me and to love me. Those are some of the things that I struggled with. Until I realized, kid, you can work yourself like a Hebrew slave till Jesus come back. And they still are not going to love you anymore. People are not loyal to you. And y'all have seen me post this several times. People are not loyal to you. They are loyal to their need of you. And when their need of you changes, so does their loyalty. I'm going to say that again. People are not loyal to you. They are loyal to their need of you. And when their need of you changes, so does their loyalty. And a lot of times we don't want to accept that. But reflect. Think back through your life. And guess what? That even includes family. Yeah. That includes family. Mother, sister, father, brother. Now, it may not be as obvious, but check it out. I promise. I gave y'all that for free. You ever do so much for people, and then that one time you say no? One time you say no, or one time you can't be there, or one time something's coming up, then it's you never there for me. You never help me. I can never count on you. But wait a minute, what about the other 50 million times? That don't matter. I needed you this one time. Now, they may not say that, but that's what their actions show. That's what they say. And so, I'm trying to tell you something. Accept what you can't change. We can't change that about people. We can't even change that about ourselves. Guess what, y'all? Y'all, where's my stars? Where's my lights? I can always tell when I strike a nerve because guess what, y'all? Truth be told, we do it too. Because it's that one special event that you wanted everybody at. You wanted everybody to support. You thought everybody was going to show up for you. And that was the one time that your girl couldn't make it. That your homie couldn't make it. That your boo had something to do. And man, what you say? Dad, you can't never have my back. But what about all the other times they had your back? Stop it, y'all. We do it too. Right? But we cannot accept what we can't change. Right? Y'all know I'm right. If we're going to have mental wellness, if we're going to be strong emotionally, We got to accept what we can't change. We can't change certain things. So listen, when it rains, I practice this, y'all. And y'all might laugh at me. I don't like the rain. Only time I like the rain is when it's raining blessings. I'm going to be, listen, y'all know I keep it 100. The only time I like the rain is when it means blessings. That's it. But when it's that liquid stuff, I can't stand it. Your hair get wet, your clothes get wet, all that stuff, right? Good morning, Mama Bishop. But here's the thing. I used to grumble and complain. I gotta take this umbrella. I'm trying to get in the car. My clothes getting wet. I practice it. And the reason I'm saying this to y'all is because when we know where we struggle, when you know where you're weak, when you know better what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to do better. Right? I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help y'all live a life of wellness. Right? When you know better, you do better. So what you do, what I do, I started practicing. I start trying to practice. I just grab my umbrella. You know, I'm like the little kid that's pouting a little bit. I grab my umbrella, and instead of complaining, and y'all might say, but you still pouting. But guess what? I'm making progress. Because before, I used to would be grumbling and complaining the whole time. But now I might snatch my umbrella up like, you know, and cut my eye a little bit. But I'm going to dress differently. Right? I'm not going to try to be cute when it's raining. I'm going to dress differently. I'm going to dress for the rain. I might start my car because guess what? I've been blessed to have a car that I can start from my driveway. All right? So I start my car. That way my car is warmed up. My windows are already defogged and all those kind of things, right? So what am I saying? I can't change the weather, but what I can change is how I approach going out in the weather. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Accept those things you can't change. For years, I would grumble and complain because I don't like the rain. But it didn't change it. It still came because God is in control, right? But now what I could change is how I approached it. So that's what I changed. I changed my attitude towards it. I changed how I approached it. If I don't have to go out in it, I don't go out in it. But when I have to go out, I change my approach. So this is what I'm saying to you. Those things that we can't change, we accept. Those things that we can change, we change. But when we cannot when we cannot change something, what you can change is how you see it, your perspective, how you approach it. And I promise you, that's going to lessen your stress. That's going to lessen your anxiety. That's going to lessen how you, that's going to increase your outlook. And even in the thing that you thought was working against you, you can be blessed. I promise you. Because just because we don't like something and just because it doesn't feel good for us doesn't mean it's not good for us. Or doesn't mean we can't be blessed in it. Doesn't mean we can't show the love of Christ in it. And so, what am I saying today? In all things, accept what you cannot change. You want your at the end of the day, you want to live the best life we can. Emotionally well, mentally healthy. It is my job to help you to live the best life you can. This is Mind Your Mind Mondays. So I'm trying to help you to mind your mind, to keep your mind in its healthiest state possible. Okay? So accept what you cannot change. What you can change is your approach and your outlook and your perspective to the things that you cannot necessarily physically change. This is your girl, Dr. K. Guess what? We'll be here, same time, next Monday. I love you, and you can't do a thing about it. Check me out tomorrow evening. I'll be doing my series, my Black History series. Tomorrow, last week, if you missed it, you can go back and you can do the replay. We did the State of the Black Church. The State of the mental health of the black church. Tomorrow we're going to do the mental health of the black man. Mental health of the black man. And so you want to catch me live tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. And so for the next 3 weeks now, we'll be doing different. 1 week is the black man. Good morning, Apostle. Next week is tomorrow's the black man. The following week is the black woman. And I think the last week is the black community. But you want to catch me next Tuesday. On Tuesdays at 8 o'clock as we continue the series. And you want to catch me on Mondays, Mind Your Mind Mondays, every Monday morning for Mind Your Mind Mondays. Hey guys, I'm excited because on March 2nd, I am having a meet and greet. You can call it everything. A meet and greet, a celebration. I'm celebrating my birthday. I'm doing a meet and greet. We're having an anniversary for my practice. We are celebrating all of my accomplishments. So everything that y'all seen posted for the last few years, we're going to do all of that on March 2nd. Where are we doing it? We're doing it at 932 East Huntington Park Avenue. And this is a way for all of you who have been following me via social media and haven't met me in person, whatever have you. You can come to that event on March 2nd. We're going to have some food. We're going to have, there are going to be some vendors there. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that we do that you all have helped build. So come out and see what your support has helped with, some things that we're launching, some new things. Come take some pictures with me. Come be a part of the growth. You'll meet some of our sponsors, all that good stuff, right? We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have all kinds of stuff, right, on March 2nd. But we need you to be there. You can register. I will put all of the information. You have to register via our Jot form link. And you have to register now. At first, we weren't doing registration, but now you have to register because we had such an overwhelming response and we don't want to go over capacity. So now you have to register to come so that we can, one, make sure we have enough food, two, so that we're not over capacity. And we still want to be mindful of all of the safety precautions and all of that. 932 East Huntington Park. If in case everybody's not familiar with that area, it's the Minuteman Press building. And so we will be in that building. Okay. So please come out. It's from 11 to 2. And I will be putting the information on the live for TikTok as well as Facebook. You want to register because if we don't have you in the count, it's a good possibility you can't get in the building because we don't want to overpopulate the building for everybody's safety, okay? So I will be there. You can come. And let me say this to you. We will have security, all right? So don't come start no stuff because we will have security. I will have for everybody's safety, okay? Please come. I want you to come. I want you to meet me, meet my family, enjoy yourselves, have a good time, and celebrate with me. Get some cake, get some food, and have a good time, all right? I love you. I know that was a lot. I love you, and you can't do a thing about it. Hey, Cousin Tia, I love you, and you can't do a thing about it. Tanya, I don't know if Psalmist Tanya is on here. I'm going to be calling you and your sister. But I love you guys, and you can't do a thing about it. Until next week, have a fantastic, amazing, wonderful, blessed week on purpose. God bless you. Remember, accept the things you cannot change.